My name is Greg Dolan, and I serve as acting CEO of the Methanol Institute. You are all here today to share in the renewed interest we are seeing in the United States for the use of methanol as a transportation fuel. Your neighbors sitting around you include methanol industry executives, federal agency officials, congressional staffers, trade association managers, academic leaders, financial analysts, and the news media representatives. While we've assembled an outstanding panel of speakers for you today, we do expect you to take an active role in the discussion. Please give us your comments, ask questions, engage our speakers, and engage each other. We've purposely asked our presenters to keep their talks focused so we have ample time for each panel for your discussion. Today's forum is being hosted by three organizations. The Methanol Institute, which serves as the trade association for the global methanol industry, are members of the world's leading methanol producers, distributors, and technology companies. And since we are holding a meeting of our board of directors here at this hotel tomorrow, our board is with us today for this conference. Gal Luft and Annie Coren are the heart of the Institute for the Analysis of Global Security. IAGS directs attention to the strong link between energy and security and provides a stage for public debate on the various avenues to strengthening the world's energy security. You'll be hearing from Gal in just a few moments. And when we talk about Washington power brokers, we usually mean men and women who have served in a president's cabinet, the U.S. Congress, individuals who have held high military rank, and industry titans. The United States Energy Security Council is made up of all of the above. The goal of the Council is to highlight and promote a fresh approach to solving America's oil predicament, working to ensure that new cars sold in the U.S. and by extension to consumers throughout the world will benefit from a competitive fuels market, and that non-petroleum fuels, whether liquid, gas, electricity, can compete against oil in a free market environment. You will have the privilege of hearing from many of these leaders during today's luncheon conversation on energy security through choice. And speaking of today's lunch, I'd like to recognize our two principal sponsors. The Southern Chemical Corporation will be sponsoring today's luncheon, and the Methanex Corporation has given their generous support for our morning and afternoon breaks, so we thank our sponsors. Today's forum will feature 4 panel sessions. We will discuss the tremendous growth we are seeing globally in the use of methanol for energy applications. You'll hear firsthand about the past use of methanol fuels in the United States, current research here, and the world leadership being demonstrated in China for methanol fuel blending. We'll highlight the opportunities for methanol as affordable natural gas becomes more plentiful. Key staff of the principal Senate sponsors the Open Fuel Standard Act will discuss the current Hill dynamics for energy policy. And you will learn about efforts in the U.S., Canada, Iceland, and the Netherlands to convert biomass and CO2 to renewable methanol. Now, the success of any alternative fuel will be decided on 4 key factors. First, the feedstock base needs to be large and broad. The economics need to be positive, meaning somebody needs to find a way to make money. The combination of the fuel and the vehicle technology has to be as clean as or cleaner than the incumbent technology. And the alternative fuel needs to be convenient to the consumer. As you will hear today, methanol really is a miracle molecule that can be made from a diverse set of feedstocks: natural gas, coal, biomass, municipal solid waste, and even CO2. The simplest alcohol, methanol also is a building block for hundreds of chemicals that touch our daily lives, from paints and solvents to plastics and building materials. And methanol is used to make biodiesel fuel, dimethyl ether, olefins, and even gasoline. While the estimates vary, last year China used more than 2 billion gallons of methanol as a transportation fuel, a market driven by the fact that methanol is much cheaper than gasoline. Today, our spot price here in the U.S. Gulf Coast for methanol is about $1.13 per gallon. Now, if we were selling M85 at the pump today in the U.S., 85% methanol, 15% gasoline, the pump price would be $1.90 per gallon. Now, since methanol has a lower energy content, its effective gasoline equivalent price to the customer for M85 would be about $3.30 per gallon, or 60 cents less per gallon than gasoline is selling for today at $3.90. and $1 a gallon less than the energy-adjusted price for E85 ethanol, which AAA lists as $4.35 per gallon. So methanol is a significant value. We'll also hear today that vehicles designed to run on methanol can be much more efficient and much cleaner, and the market emergence of renewable methanol fuels offers significant greenhouse gas emission benefits. Finally, the transition to methanol will be easy, cost-effective, and transparent. You would fill up with liquid methanol just like you do with gasoline today. It only costs about $100 to give a new car the capability of running on alcohol fuels, ethanol or methanol. With nearly 10 million ethanol flex fuel vehicles on our highways, we know it's a pretty simple fix. In 2010, the average new car cost was over $29,000. So providing alcohol fuel capability to any new car would add about 0.003% added cost to the sticker price of a new car to give it alcohol fuel capability. And since the average U.S. consumer uses about 500 gallons of gasoline per year per car, if you purchase methanol for an FFV on January 1, by the end of April, the initial investment for that FFV would be paid off in fuel savings. This miracle molecule is abundant, clean, efficient, easy, and affordable. And with the right public policy support, and that support does not have to include federal subsidies, we can move quickly toward what Nobel Prize laureate George Olah has referred to as the methanol economy. Many politicians here in Washington have said we need an all-of-the-above energy policy. Methanol needs to once again become part of that policy discussion, and we are taking that first step here today. So we thank you for your participation.